The story Mamash is it's a shocking story. This Rabbi Yosef Teitelbaum was the rabbi in Hungary, and he was a rabbi of a small community. And how was it? They rent him an apartment, and he would live in that apartment, and he would be able to lead the community. Okay, they rented him an apartment, and after like 5-6 years of him being the rabbi of the community, the owner of this apartment says, I'm sorry, I need to sell this apartment. I need you guys to move out. I need to sell it. And Be'emet, the rabbi is looking. 2 months of searching for another apartment in the community, nothing doing. Now, if there's no apartment, he's going to lose his position. He's going to have to go to a different town. And this was very hard for him, but more than it was hard for him, it was hard for his wife. They realized they have nothing to do. Yalla, they have to move to a different town. One of the mornings that they were already starting to head looking for a different town, a lady comes to her and she starts screaming at her. One of my neighbors said to me that you said about me, da-da-da-da-da. She's saying like you said I'm a bad person. She's going on and on. She's saying this is what my neighbor said that you, the Rabbanit, said about me. And the Rabbanit, she was so shooken up. I never said a thing like that. I never said anything like that, but she was so shooken up. She went into her room, she burst out crying. Mamash burst out crying, and out of crying, she fell asleep. In her dream, her father, which was Frankel Tomim, comes to her in a dream, and he says, I'm embarrassed at you, my daughter. I'm embarrassed of you. He says, this is how this is your emunah HaKadosh Baruch Hu? This is what you're doing? You're crying because someone said this to you? How could you hurt another Jew by crying about what she said to you? She's like, Abba, what? He says, let me tell you what's going on. And this is what her father, who's already in the Olam HaEmet, says, you should know, Min HaShamayim, you're meant to leave this world. It's your time to leave this world. But I was pleading to Bet Din Shel Mala to please your mother of children to please take the decree onto something else. And Shamayim agreed. They agreed. They said, you know what? We'll take this decree and we'll move it on to her, the family having to go to Galut. Right? This was the plea that he said, please let them go to Galut. Let them be kicked out of their town to go to Galut to another town. Min Shamayim, they said that's not enough. Why? Because she's chayav mitah, she has to get something that is compared to death, which is what? Embarrassment. She has to get embarrassed. So Min Shamayim, you were meant to get this, you're meant to die. I'm begging Shamayim to take away this decree. Finally they agreed to have galut and embarrassment. And be'emet, if you would accept this embarrassment properly, the whole thing could be annulled. But you're going and crying. What are you crying? What are you crying? Don't you understand what a chesed and rachamim this is for you? And she wakes up and she's like completely shocked. She couldn't believe this whole thing. She gets up and she tells her husband, everything is great. I'm mochel belev shalem. Mochel, everything is great. We're going to move to the other town. A few minutes later, after she was mekabel this, the lady comes and says, listen, I'm so sorry. I spoke to the other lady. She said, it wasn't true. I'm so sorry. A couple of hours later, the owner says he decided that he's not selling the apartment. You can stay in the apartment, continue renting the apartment. Why? Because b'zchut the fact that she accepted to be mekabel, the embarrassment, mitoch ahava, the whole thing was decreed. Say the Baalei Musar, this is the Yesod. Unfortunately, sometimes we're makdim pela ayin. We think this is happening because of this. Why is this happening to me? And we cry over what things happen. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, if you only would know what I'm actually saving you from, what I actually have for you, how much I care for you, you wouldn't even do this.